Dude, I'll tell you another one that's just bomb nasty is Devil in Your Eyes. Like, that song has weight to it. Push down and turn, bro. It's a monster.
Well, we were on tour and we knew we were getting pretty close to the point where, you know, the album cycle was going to wrap and all that stuff. And we had done a little bit of writing out on the road.
When you're on tour, that's what you're focusing on. But then once you get to the end of a cycle, you start to, okay, even though we're on tour, we still have to think about new songs, the next record, what are we doing?
Essentially, we had no idea what we were doing until we got in the studio.
Nothing was planned out, nothing was blueprinted.
And we would start playing something and be like, yep, that one's gonna work.
And we were all constantly going back and forth to a few older songs.
You know, we said these songs deserve to be heard.
We wrote a couple of them in studio as well, you know, so there was super brand new, very fresh in the studio. The first single is one of those songs. Then there's a few that we wrote during the last, you know, few months or a year or so of being on tour. And then there's some from 17, 18 years ago, 19 years ago.
It was really weird how those older songs held up after 10 years.
I've got this feeling I've lost you again. You're crawling the ceiling and dancing with him.
We went into my studio in Sulphur Well, Monocle Studios.
It's a cabin and it's out in this beautiful woods, and there's turkeys running everywhere and deer and rock and roll.
And we brought in Jordan Westfall, who's our on-the-road monitor engineer. And now he's our studio engineer. We're gonna keep him forever.
He also executive produced and mixed the album.
And what he brought was a different approach to how we had recorded in the past.
Jordan is just an amazing engineer, and his knowledge of how to capture sounds and get the sounds is just absolutely amazing. We recorded this album basically over the month of March, right at the beginning of the pandemic height.
Everything's going great, and the record is just, you know, the songs are coming along and everybody's playing their ass off, and then all of a sudden, well, the world has got this this virus now.
Hey, we're gonna do it. You hear our parody? We'll film on a phone, we'll send it in. John, do you hear about our parody? It's gonna be a public service announcement for Stay.
Okay.
But if I told you I loved you, would it make you want to stay at home? It's perfect, man.
It is.
How many times a day would it ever be enough to make you feel safe enough to stay? Would it make you wanna stay at home? Would it make you wash your hands?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I'll be honest with you, when we get in the studio, I kind of shut the outside world off. So I didn't understand this whole pandemic thing until we had been home for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, and that's all you could see on the news.
It was something that I think motivated us during that time, and we knew that we need to make a record that will come out, and we need to give our fans and, you know, music listeners worldwide something that is a rock that they can have and lean on during this time.
We were literally at the wrapping point when all that happened, so we thankfully were able to get it wrapped up, get it finished, and get it done so we could have mix done and mastering done while we were sitting at home. I think the biggest goal we wanted to achieve with this album was to capture an honest, to the point, modern collection of songs that represented our band in a way that we had never done before.
We wanted to say something. We wanted it to be heavy. We wanted it to sound heavy, but we also wanted it to be heavy in different ways, not just musically, but lyrically.
The majority of the songs on this record, address something. All the songs, really have something to say, more so than just having a good time.
Each album is its own thing, its own statement, and right now that's the statement we want to make. Is we're a loud, heavy rock and roll band that can also sing some pretty crooning ballads, and I think that's what this album does, and I'm super proud of that.
We wanted to prove to ourselves that we could make a larger than life record.
The end goal for me was for us to put out a record that was the absolute best work and the most, amazing record we've done start to finish.
So our goal with every album is to make the best thing we can, but also to make something that we can reproduce live. So we never stack stuff up that we can't do live.
We're a destroy-your-ass live band. That's what we are.
Chris is singing better than ever. Everybody, I think, is playing better than ever. So the ultimate goal was to show people that Black Stone Cherry, even though this is our 7th album, that we're still as vibrant and excited and as rocking as we ever have been.
We worked so hard. I mean, we really did. And we held each other accountable.
Even though John Fred is the drummer and a beast of a drummer, just because he's a drummer doesn't mean that, or I'm a guitar player and Chris is a guitar player, John's a bass player, that each next guy doesn't have input and say in each of his parts.
And we're all up in each other's grill constantly about how to improve something. And that's what's really special.
I might play a part and they go, no, we can do that better. And same thing with the drums. John Fred, you can do it better. John, Chris, you can sing it better. You can play it better. Everybody can do it better. And if we think we can, then we're going to pull it out of each other. Even when we think we can't. If you go, man, I can't. This is all I got. You push again and see what happens.
And that's how you have to be when you're a real band. When you can be honest with the other people in your band. And I would never tell one of my brothers, hey man, it's good enough, because that's not what we do. Black Stone Cherry is a big old team.
We all want the best thing. We all want the best product. So when you can sit back and listen to it after it's all mixed and mastered, you go, hell yeah, we might have fought and argued and laughed and fussed and cried, but we have something that we're proud of.
If you're not going the next step or doing something different every time, then for us, there's no reason to do it. So we absolutely pushed ourselves to give you all the best record we could with this album, and I hope like hell y'all love it, man.